What is up, species? Welcome to my Flash Season 5 Episode 3 review and breakdown. Now, is it too early to say that this season seems to be like it's going to be rock solid? Probably a little bit too early, but 3 episodes in, and it just keeps getting better. Now, this episode was definitely better than episode 2. It just had so many cool things in it, not to mention what I'm about to talk about, like the Flash Museum and stuff like that, but a lot of drama, a lot of foreshadowing, and a lot of Cicada, which I'm just continuously impressed by Chris Klein's portrayal of that character. Well, this new iteration, if you will. So I want to dive straight into this one, guys. So if you want to stay up to date with more reviews and updates on all comic book nerdy things just like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, and if you liked the episode and everything like that, hit that like button. So even that first part of the episode was just fantastic when we got the Flash Museum, I think in like 2032. Now, the Flash Museum is now S.T.A.R Labs. I'm not sure if that's like a timeline change or, you know, because I don't know. Either way, it was some other building that actually looked like a museum. I can't remember what the building was, but now it's S.T.A.R Labs. I thought that was quite a cool connection because if you guys remember, HR wanted to open that museum there. I'm not sure if they were hinting that from way back then. Now, from what I initially saw in like the Hall of Villains, I think it was called, we didn't see anything like brand new. Maybe there was a couple of things, and I'll look into that and maybe come out of another video. But other than that, it was like Reverse Flash, Savitar, all the like, you know, metas that we've seen, all the big villains that Barry's been up against. Nobody knows who Cicada was, or like nobody knows how he got his powers. Team Flash didn't stop him, and we even got like some drops like the Justice League or like the CW's Justice League, but they referenced it, or Nora referenced it just as the League, but I guess that's as close as we're gonna get. Supergirl tried taking him down, the Legends tried taking Cicada down, even Oliver Queen, who you would have thought, okay, let's just send Oliver like on like a month mission after Cicada or something. You would have thought Oliver would get something out of that, especially as Cicada couldn't use his power dampening dagger against someone like Oliver, but no luck there either. I just love how we've got this villain now that Team Flash has never caught, like into the future, and he's here earlier than expected as well. And we got even some other drops as well in terms of like how Block and Gridlock, and we kind of knew this anyway, weren't even victims of his, like it's completely different victims. And the original victim was actually a metahuman by the name of Floyd Belkin. And now I did a little bit of research on Floyd Belkin, and I believe he's called like Arm Fall Off Boy, or like a current alias is known as Splitter. Now this meta had the ability to actually detach his own limb, so I just thought that was probably a little funny Easter egg. I do not know how that character exists. Maybe I haven't looked into him enough, and he's very, very cool, but Arm Fall Off Boy. I don't know about you, but we've been waiting for this since forever, since like that Speed Force scene where Barry was traveling through the Speed Force. We got like the tease of John Wesley Shipp's Barry Allen Flash. We saw Killer Frost. We saw the Flash Museum, and lo and behold, here we have it. That was just such a cool intro to the episode, and like a cool little dramatic, you know, tease into Cicada that we only got more of this episode. Then we got a little scene, like an eco-friendly like thief scene, which was pretty funny. Like Ralph turned himself into a big meme. This humor, I was worried. I was like, oh man, like when I just saw that guy like with his gun, I thought, oh god, here we go, season 4 kind of metahuman. I want my money, like if you know what I mean, with Run Iris Run, that metahuman in that episode. God, that was not great. I thought it was going to be like that, but no, this is like the toned down humor of Ralph that I really like, and then like the rest of Ralph that we got in this episode was like really, really cool moments with Caitlin. Now let's talk about the introduction of Harrison Sherloque Wells, which they actually contacted Wolfgang Wells, first of all, which it was cool to see him again. Now one thing I just love anytime, no matter what Wells it is just seeing Tom Cavanagh portray these different Welleses. It was quite funny how Wolfgang was fanboying out over Barry, and even like Kid Flash, if you will. I really like how Sherlock came out of the portal. It was just something like that, and it was kind of like a Sherlock Holmes silhouette, so that was really awesome. And I just really like the vibe of Sherloque Wells in this episode already. Now don't get me started about the end. Well, we will get started on that towards the end of this review, but like he seems to be an incredibly intriguing character. Not only does he have like some annoying aspects that Harrison Wells has, which Cisco would find annoying, we just probably find funny. He just came across very observant, very intelligent, obviously, since he is meant to be like a, you know, Sherlock Holmes master detective ripoff. But he was just like a master of his craft, and he instantly like came up with like the location of David Hirsch. Now, if you guys know, Cicada's actual name in the comics is David Hirsch, and so therefore when I was watching this, I was just like, seriously, like, we've already got on to the identity of David Hirsch, and like, I thought from there on out, okay, we know his identity, but it will still be like a season-long thing after Cicada. Cicada probably doesn't care that his name has been found out by Team Flash, and it'll be something like that. And while we got some really cool action here and like perfect demonstrations of like Nora running in without thinking and activating some decoy bombs, and like the effects that I just love the Speed Force effects when they run in and Barry saved her ass. This genius, or should I not say genius, of Sherloque Wells was just down to the fact that he's apparently caught Cicada 36, 37 times before. Was this the 37th time? On like, I guess, different Earths or something like that. He always catches him because he's always, I mean, I guess there was like the first time we caught him where he did do some actual Sherloque Wells detective work, but the other 36 or 37, whatever times, he just knew, hey, yeah, I know who this guy is. Let's catch him before I guess he even starts, or like catch him in the act, because I know who he is. But this Earth is different because of the timeline change, whether that's because of Nora or whatever. It turns out that David Hirsch isn't actually Cicada. Now, I definitely don't think that this actually discredits Sherloque Wells too much because of like the what he was calling on to at the end of the episode, and how he did help with like the trees thing when Vi was getting chased by Cisco, which I will get to. So yeah, it was just funny. Now, this is where in the episode Nora was really adamant about getting David Hirsch, because like, well, how couldn't it be David Hirsch? Blah 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 blah. Barry was just like, look, if you're gonna do that, like if you're gonna be that impulsive, and regardless, bottom line here is that she is still a rookie, she's still learning. She almost is going too far to fix her mistakes. And Iris, I like that scene between Iris and Barry, like pointing out the fact that he's not all too different. Like, sure, he's a bit tempered down now in season 5, but the past 4 seasons, think about how many mistakes Barry has made, and Nora is just, well, God, like she's mistake prone right now. Now, where do I get started on Mr. Cicada this episode? He was just so cool. So in this episode, he was wanting to finish off what he started off in the previous episode, you know, where he cut Vibe's hand, and it's just like, well, we all know his agenda is to like kill all metahumans for one reason or another, and speculations up until this episode, which really got emphasized in this episode, was the fact that, well, like he kind of had a family. He actually has family still, which I really want to talk about right now, but I can't. But bottom line, whether he's trying to get this energy from metas or whatever, like he definitely wants to kill them because he definitely blames them for what tragedy befell his family. Now, oh my God, talking about Cicada overpoweredness. Now, I know some people don't like this because they feel like he was starting off too strong, and it's like, well, if he's starting off this strong already, will he be that threatening throughout the season? I definitely get that criticism. We're gonna have to wait and see there. But there was even more overpoweredness this episode. Like, we're talking about new powers that involved with the dagger this episode. That included Force Lightning, like Star Wars, Papa Joe, because he goes after Papa Joe this episode. And then other powers involved freaking like a bubble shield, if you know what I'm talking about, kind of Halo style, and then dagger flight. And there's another power, I believe, as well. But, like, seriously, what the heck, Cicada? Either way, I found these powers very interesting. I can't wait to see what else the dagger can do. I'll be surprised if it can do much more, because flight, bubble shield protection, power, dampening abilities, other abilities, that is a lot already. Like, I mean, you could have kind of stopped with power dampening, because, you know, we saw how screwed over Barry and Vibe get when it comes into a fisticuffs battle with Cicada. So I found the line very interesting, where this is the thing about Cicada. He's, like, obviously a very effed up individual, literally like a Jack the Ripper kind of person of modern Central City days. But it's super interesting how it's just like, I wouldn't want to do this to a family man, or I didn't want to do this to a family man, or if you knew what I knew, you would cherish your family, because obviously he was pointing out how Joe is putting himself in danger through not giving up Vibe. Like, what does he know, like, that Joe doesn't know? Am I looking into that too deeply here? Or is he just saying, like, if you knew what I knew in terms of how metahumans are just bastards, and, like, you know, something's gonna happen to your family, so you should cherish your time with them anyway? Or is that timeline thing with Cicada somehow being here early because he's from the future or something, and he knows something that we don't know, but he is gonna be around? Like, we saw that he becomes, like, police chief or whatever it is in the 2024 article and 2049 article. So I don't know. So in this episode, we got some more Caitlin developments as well. I really am liking this Killer Frost origin story arc. I really liked her time together with Ralph this episode. This is the Ralph I like. I love how they're promoting this more. Obviously, Ralph was threatened this episode a teeny bit, like ego-wise, in an innocent way, because Sherloque Wells is obviously an insane detective at the same time. So Ralph is still making himself useful with Caitlin through using his detective detective skills with Caitlin, and that involved confronting Caitlin's mother with the death certificate. She denied it, but we all know she's guilty as heck. Caitlin found like this kind of suicide letter from her father, but really she decoded a message in that letter through these elements she used to make up with her father when she was younger. And that message said something like, Caitlin, come and find me. And that's even when we saw towards the end of the episode as well, who we can only assume is Dr. Thomas Snow, looking at footage of Caitlin in S.T.A.R Labs. So he's literally got cameras in S.T.A.R Labs. He probably knows everything. I'm guessing since he's been detached from that family life of Caitlin for years and years, he's been trying to feel close to his daughter still, like see how she's been getting on and stuff. Either way, super intriguing storyline. Now, Cicada versus Vibe, this was really cool. It's not like it was like a massive action sequence with like Oliver Queen style combat, but it doesn't really need to be that way for the Flash, I feel, because obviously they're not like martial arts fighters or anything like that. That is when another freaking power happened, but this isn't like a power that is brand new. It was that what I like to call stab yanked power. Well, this is kind of new because he boomeranged it through the air and it stabbed Cisco and it yanked him back, which is just, this is what I mean by overpowered, but it's really cool at the same time, so I don't mind. Now, Barry came in at super speed. He got owned again, just like before. I really like that kind of super speed, almost like Flash time moment, it felt, from Nora, where before she burst into an impulsive, hey, I need to save my dad reaction, you know, she had to think about it, and we heard like Barry's audio overlay saying you need to, you know, take a step back or whatever, and then she knew what to do. And that was when she got like those power couplings or like power things for the pipeline, which earlier was kind of like foreshadowed this, you know, because it's not HR, what am I on about? Obviously Sherloque Wells faked his death with like a little vaporizing moment, and this led to Nora obviously grabbing that and then throwing that at Cicada. And then I thought actually in this moment Cisco got vaporized. I thought that would be fine, like he'd come back from it in a weird timeliney way, but I was way too gullible in this moment. But this turns out that it literally was that fake death, you know, the death of Vibe, or Vibe dead, you know, and they're actually going to use this to their advantage. And I think you know we might not see Vibe actually for a little while. Cisco used his powers except for maybe in S.T.A.R Labs, and then this could surprise Cicada in maybe another future episode when there's somewhat of a showdown. Now, this was really cool. I'm really happy with Chris Klein's acting here. We learned that Cicada's real name in this timeline is Orlin. His family, or a member of his family, is alive, and that's his daughter, and she's in a coma. Now, I think a lot of us thought from that San Diego Comic-Con trailer that when he was walking in that room, you know, with the daughters, you know, with like a child's playthings, evidently a girl's, like he lost his family, including his wife or his girlfriend, but it seems that she's still alive, and it seems like you could argue that they could mirror like a bringing back to life thing from the comics with Cicada's story, as bringing his daughter out of this coma. But this is where we saw that wound at the same time, because that doctor was like, oh, it's still not healing. It was like glowing as well. So I'm wondering, was this wound created in the episode where Nora threw that thing? Obviously the power coupling kind of thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't think so, because he put up like a bubble shield, or he deflected it, and that's what made the thing blow up in Cisco's face. But he did put his hand on his chest, and he did like, and it was bleeding in that moment. So was this like a pre-existing wound from like the satellite incident that created him potentially, and then like during that fight, because of like the whole you know, ordeal, it just like was like an open wound again after having stitches or something equivalent to that? Is this why Cicada was never caught as well? I have to beg the answer for. Just because, like, maybe he was never caught because he went on a murdering spree, like a Jack the Ripper murdering spree, but then he died. But, like, he was never caught, like, just went silent. I would love to know what you guys think of that as well. Now, this moment was super duper duper freaking intriguing to me, guys. And it just sets up, like, yes for, like, the rest of the season in terms of finding out what the heck is going on with Nora. Now, Sherloque Wells, as you all know what I'm talking about, ask Nora, like, if, you know, stopping the satellite incident, you know, with her father, like punching her, which is an extremely dangerous thing to do for such a rookie. Did she come up with that all by herself? Like, he was, like, pretty much convinced that she didn't, especially, like, with her answer, like, making it even more blatantly obvious. Now, the music in the background wasn't sinister or anything like that, but it was definitely, like, 100% putting it in your face. This is something, there is more to this. Is it, like, exciting, or is it, like, oh, kind of thing? It wasn't neither, like, exciting music, well, it was, but it wasn't, like, sinister music at the same time, nor happy. I've seen a few posts out there already, like, oh, could this be her brother? But it's just like, why would she lie? Why would she lie about her brother? Why would she keep that away? Like, why would her brother, unless maybe he's like a Daniel West, like an evil version, and she's trying to keep him safe or whatever, even though he's like evil? That's one theory. What I'm trying to point out to you guys here, it's got my head spinning with mysterious excitement, I guess I would say. So I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below in terms of why Nora is lying and what that Sherlock meant by did you come up with that all by yourself? Evidently not. So who else gave her the idea of happening to interfere with the timeline at that exact point, with being such a rookie, a newbie speedster, and just putting it down to like how he was irresistible, which is believable at the same time, because how could you resist saving your father if he's about to die getting hit by a satellite? So I don't know, guys, but amazing episode, fantastic episode. I just hope they keep up this momentum. But other than that, guys, of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and leave a like on this video if you did enjoy the episode and you enjoyed my thoughts on it. And other than that, subscribe for more reviews like this, trailer breakdowns, everything like that. Links, as always, in the description down below. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you speedsters in the next video. Goodbye.